Hey guys, happy Saturday to everybody. I have Miss Monroe here, who is still in the outfit she wore from last week. I love this so much that I just didn't want to take it off of her, so I didn't. She's been wearing it all week. The weather's been really kind of odd this week. Like, it was hot for a couple of days, then we had like super high winds, and now it's like it's not hot, it's not cold, it's just kind of, I don't know, I want to say it might be 65 degrees, if that. Maybe not even, because it's gotten really cloudy and weird, and with the weird wind we've had, like, I wonder if it was part of the tropical storm system moving up the coast. I haven't paid attention enough to the weather to know if that's really what it is, but my guess is based on what it is with the winds, because yesterday it was so windy. But yeah, so she wasn't dressed for the occasion this week, I guess. I don't know. I like her to be dressed in something appropriate for the weather, but it's kind of hard when you're moving from one season to the other to know what to put on, babies. So this is actually, I think, like a spring fall outfit, even though it's lightweight, it's, still long sleeve. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to put her in a jacquardie outfit, a little Liberty print. They call them bloomers, but it's a romper. And so I'm going to put this on her with a shirt underneath, a sweater over top, some knee-high socks, and then her matching color block shoes that go with this set. And because it's on the chilly side, to me it feels chilly. Like, I turned my heat on at night because it's dropping down. Gosh, I think it went even into the 40s this week. Ugh, not looking forward to cold nights. But it's already happening, so I just have to kind of go with it. So she will have, knee-high socks, so only a little bit of her skin will be showing. So I think it's appropriate. Plus, I'm putting a regular little sweater over top of everything, so she's kind of got layers. So yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to dress her, and then I'm going to talk with you about topic today is is this normal? What's normal? And I'll explain what I mean by that, because it could mean many things. Ooh, mysterious. Not really. But, I get a lot of questions. What sparked this topic for me is that I get a lot of people asking me questions about what is normal. Especially, like, people don't ask me about reborns because they know I don't have any reborns. Yes, I do know a lot of information about reborns, but, my primary focus right now is obviously silicone dolls, because that's what I have in my collection. That's what I enjoy the most right now. So it is what it is, People can ask me reborn questions, but I'm sure there are many other YouTube channel creators out there that know currently a lot more about what's happening in the reborn world than I do. I'm primarily focused on silicone right now, and probably will be that way, indefinitely. So, but people do message me all the time about, they're looking to buy a doll more than likely on the secondary market, because with prices rising, most of us cannot afford to buy directly from the artist, especially particular artists. And it might be that they're newer to collecting. They might be newer to silicone. They might just not have experienced this artist before. So I get a lot of Claire Taylor questions. I also get just random silicone questions on what is normal wear and tear. Like, what condition should I be expecting, this doll to be in, and what should I be looking for? And I think the secondary market has always been, like, most people's preferred way to buy dolls, mainly because of financially, you can most of the time find a doll for a little bit more reasonable price than from the artist, unless it's a very sought after doll, and then sometimes you will see the value increase on the secondary market because they're so hard to get. Really depends on the artist, but overall, most people look to the secondary market to be able to afford buying a dream doll that they would not be able to afford, you know, directly from that artist. So, and that most of the time is the case. Even for Claire Taylor silicone dolls, you can still find them out there. Her older dolls are somewhat reasonable. It really depends. You know, prices actually should reflect the condition of the doll, the age of the doll. There's many factors that should go into it. And what is normal wear and tear, that's like kind of, it's a big gray question. It really is. Mainly because, you know, as durable as we want these dolls to be, they are still a soft medium. They are still a medium that can rip, tear, lose paint, lose matting. I mean, the list is endless to things that can happen to our dolls. And it's really hard because people end up sending me pictures and want my opinion on dolls that are, you know, they're potentially looking to buy, you know, asking, you know, does this look like it's in good condition? And the problem with pictures that I have noticed over the years, it's nothing new, but it is something that I have noticed, is that pictures can be altered. Pictures can be taken in specific lighting where you don't see everything. You know, like, I'll tell you what, having an overhead light for me taking pictures, especially when I'm selling a doll, has been beneficial to me because it's very harsh, very unforgiving when it's overhead lighting, especially when you have missing matting. So if you have shiny spots on your doll, overhead lighting shows it way more than, you know, backlit lighting or the type of lighting that people put in front of them to kind of project for making videos. So I've noticed that sometimes things don't always come across in pictures. And I think that, I don't know, and my thing is I don't know whether it's on purpose that people do this, and I'm not saying people do, but I think sometimes it does happen where collectors are purposely trying to hide flaws because they're trying to get the most out of their sale. They want to make the most money back. And I get that, but also honesty is so important, because if I notice a shiny spot and I'm aware of it, I am going to point it out and I'm going to take pictures and make sure that the potential buyer sees and knows, because they're going to see it in person. I mean, you're not fooling anybody if you're trying to cover it up, but you do have to point out all potential flaws that you see that might bother you as a collector. And that brings up a whole nother, you know, topic of discussion is, you know, what I think is something concerning may not be what another collector, especially newer collectors that are less knowledgeable about silicone and what things look like. So it's literally like a tricky situation, I think. Normal wear and tear to me, if a doll has been well cared for, can mean a varying degree of, you know, what I would consider good condition. Missing matting, depending on the artist, can be quite common, or it may not be common at all. So if I see a Claire Taylor silicone out there for sale and has tons of shiny spots, I know her as an artist, and I know that her matting is done very, very well. I think that she's one of the best at matting dolls and at holding up over the test of time, and, you know, several collectors and several mommies or whatever that the doll passes through over the years. Other artists, maybe not so much. So if I saw a Claire Taylor silicone that has shiny spots, I would be more prone to think that the doll has been handled a little aggressively, or maybe had been bathed, you know, a bit, I don't know, like exposed to things they probably shouldn't have been exposed to, because I know with normal handling, because I handle her like all the time, I know that the doll's matting should hold up. If there's a Claire Taylor doll out there that has missing paint, I know something's gone on with the doll, because it's very rare that you will see missing paint on Claire Taylor dolls. I've had so many of her dolls over the years. I've had all, like, starting back when she first started making silicone dolls, I was collecting them. I've had a lot of her dolls from the start on up to current in my collection at times. And never once have I found that I think I've had one doll of hers that had matting issues. Like it was one doll. And that doll, I was still baffled at how she would have had matting issues, but it happens. And I don't know if it was the first mommy that had her. It's really hard to say because that was, I don't know. So the norm for me is that I don't see certain problems that you may see with some artist dolls that you do with others. I kind of tend to know what to look for with particular artists. So if you're looking at a Claire Taylor doll, which a lot of you guys have messaged me in regards to Claire Taylor's dolls, it's not normal. I would say it's not normal if there's missing paint, lots of missing matting. You got to wonder, and that makes me tell people you need to ask questions. You want to know the history of the doll. I'm never afraid to ask the current owner of a doll where the doll's been, and I want to know as much of the history as I can possibly know. How many mommies has the doll had? How many, you want to know how many hands the doll may have passed through, because that'll tell you if you should be concerned with the condition of the doll. And that's important when you're investing your money in a potential, beautiful dream baby. Like, you want to know this information. It's very important to know. I'd rather know than not know for sure. And that way I can kind of feel good or whatever about, one, the price, two, the condition, all of those things that you take into consideration when you're looking to buy a doll. I think that if people don't like to answer those questions or they don't know the background of the doll, then I'm a little iffy on whether I'd want, depending on how badly I want the doll, whether I would purchase the doll or not. So there are just things to take into consideration. There are things that you need to do. I preach this left and right, is that you got to do your due diligence and ask lots and lots of questions. Whether you're a new collector or old collector, it doesn't matter. You always ask lots and lots of questions. And even then, you may not get someone that's 100% truthful when, answering those questions. And that's a whole nother topic. Honest sellers. But, I just think it's really important. These dolls are so expensive, you guys. They're so expensive, right? Like, we want to make sure we get the most out of our money. Nobody wants to lose money on a doll that they purchase, But if you have the doll in your possession and something happens to the doll, you really got to kind of own it and be honest about the fact that the doll's not perfect. Boo-boos happen, has the doll been repaired? I mean, if it's important to me. Like, to me, it's like a huge thing, people being honest about condition of dolls. I've bought dolls in the past where it was clear that the owner of the doll would have known about certain issues the doll had, but just didn't disclose them, and then went, I didn't notice it after I had actually opened the doll's box, took the doll out, and first thing I do if I'm doing a box opening video is after the video's done, I inspect the doll after I've turned off the camera, because I want to know immediately if I should be documenting something about the doll's condition. Because if you don't catch it right away, they're going to say, well, why didn't you mention that when you first got the doll? So that's why I always tell people when they get a new doll just to inspect it thoroughly, go over it with a fine-tooth comb. That way the minute immediately when you get the doll what condition it's in, and it's not something that's happened while the doll was in your possession. I'm just putting this pink little bow in her hair. I love this little bow. It goes with so many things. And so what's normal, what's not normal? I've told people yay or nay on something that might be normal, but always ask for tons of pictures, you guys. Always ask if they're willing to do a video, a details video. That's why I video every doll I sell. I will do a complete inspection video and then send it to the potential mommy before I get my money. I try to do that before I get the money, depending on how overzealous someone might be to send me money. Sometimes it happens after, but I like to make sure, but you can always refund. I don't do anything with the money until I know the doll has been received, that the new mommy likes the doll, that there are no issues, there were no shipping problems. So I tend to hold that money and keep it set aside so I know that it's a smooth transaction. But if there's an issue and something that I missed and it's clearly documented, that I can go ahead and refund them. I think that it's become more the norm with doll sales anymore that people spend it before they even have gotten the doll to its new mom, to the new owner. And they run into problems because if someone isn't happy with the doll, and I'm not talking about, someone that the regretful sale that someone just shouldn't have bought a doll because they just financially shouldn't have spent the money and there's regret there and buyer's remorse. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking if there's truly something wrong with the doll that, you should have caught or should have been responsible for, you should be able to refund their money. It's very rare. But that's also why I do the inspection videos. It's why I'm so careful to go over any doll I sell with a fine-tooth comb, because I want there to be no reason for the new owner of the doll to be unhappy. Hence why honesty. Like I've actually gone and sold a doll. Sorry, I just noticed something that was bugging me. I've actually sold a couple of dolls where I didn't notice something going on with the doll's silicone, and it was silicone dolls, a couple of them. And I noticed that they may have had a tear or something, and I could repair it, but I wanted to show them, and I would have been fine if the new potential owner wanted to back out of the sale for that reason, and I give them that opportunity. I never want someone to feel forced into a sale, and I never want to hide anything that I should have disclosed. I think that just makes for a very good seller's reputation in the doll community. I think that your reputation is everything, and it can potentially ruin, future sales and potential, buying a doll if you have a bad reputation in the doll community. I just think it's all tied together. It's all very important. You got to be very open and honest. And, if you see a doll that needs a lot of repairs, sadly, I tell people to steer clear, because you're getting into an area where you're spending way too much on a doll unless you can get it for really, 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 I'm talking really cheap, because finding an artist that will be willing to sand down and repaint and then remat a doll, it's hard to find those that want to deal with it, because it's so labor intensive and you can ruin the doll. There's just a whole lot that goes along with it, and a lot of artists just don't want to bother. So I think it's just important to know that going into it. Not that I don't discourage any sales, but if someone were to ask me my true opinion on it, I would be very honest in saying, maybe not. But here she is in her outfit. This is all jacquardie that she's wearing today, except for the socks. So she's got this beautiful Liberty print romper, which does have a little bow at the top, but it's covered by her little pink sweater. She's got a little short sleeve jacquardie onesie with a pretty scallop collar and a pretty pink jacquardie sweater to go with. And then she's got her Pretty Originals socks, her little knee-high socks with the bows on them. I love these. This is my favorite style of knee-high socks, I think. And then she's got her Pretty Originals color block shoes to match with the little bows on those. So she's all full of bows. And, of course, a little pink bow in her hair. But there she is, guys. And my lighting is wonky because it's gray outside. It literally is. There's no sun shining anywhere outside where I can see. So my lighting in here is weird because I have the window shade open, but it's really just not bringing any light in. So it gets a little weird. So this is her outfit for today. I feel like she's still going to be warm and comfortable in what she's wearing. Even if I were to take her outside, she'd still be comfortable. But yeah, so hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. I try to give good information out there for y'all. I know there are constant buying and selling going on in the secondary market, and that's how a lot of us find our dream babies. This baby came to me on the secondary market, but her mommy only had her literally a couple of weeks before she came to me, and the first mommy that had her got her directly from Claire. So she was in brand new condition, honestly. So I cannot complain. Is that a plane? If you guys can hear that, it's loud going overhead. It's really loud. It seemed very low. But I got very lucky because she was in brand new condition, and I've been very careful with her and never bathed her, and I never will, just because the thought in the back of my mind, even though I know some people that do bathe them regularly, or once in a while, I shouldn't say regularly, I've never had a problem. It's just something within me. I just don't feel comfortable with it. I just will never bathe any of my dolls. But gosh, the lighting is so weird. Sorry for that, guys. But yeah, I mean, my goal is to always keep my dolls in as perfect condition as I can. Obviously, you know, boo-boos happen, and you know, I'm aware of that, but I try very hard to make sure that she's handled very carefully so that she's in beautiful condition for as long as I possibly can keep her in that. But look at how cute she is. I love this little outfit. It's pretty colors. We're still technically in summer, so she can still rock the yellow and pink summery colors, even though it's starting to cool down here. It's very sweet though. But there she is, guys. I hope you guys are all having a great start to your weekend. I have found a new show that I'm completely obsessed with. I love when I find new shows. Actually, there's a couple of them that I've become obsessed with, and I believe they're both on HBO. So one of them is The Righteous Gemstones, and it's a new show that just started. I don't know. I think there's 4 episodes that have been out so far, so it's a brand new show. It is very entertaining. Also, another one that's an HBO show that's not brand new. It's in its 3rd season, which is called Divorce, with Sarah Jessica Parker. Like, I don't know, I'm stumbling upon these really great TV shows. And I love that sometimes there's a couple seasons that they're already into, so I can like completely binge watch for hours if I want to. I love that, especially when it's like kind of outside. It's a great time to like be inside and just watch your favorite shows. So I'm trying to expand like my normal show watching, because there's so many great ones, and my family keeps telling me, like, I've literally been sent multiple lists of just Netflix shows that are amazing. Gosh, there's so many channels of shows. It's just so hard to keep up now. But yeah, so I'm trying to like binge watch a bunch of stuff. I was binge watching Divorce yesterday, and I'm like so hooked on it. So anyways, yeah, I hope you guys, whatever you guys are doing today, I hope you're enjoying yourselves. And that's pretty much it for us today, guys. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, and Monroe and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.